Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel, and we're back with another watch along, and it's is it our third watch along? I think it is our third watch along already of the World Cup, and it's France versus Australia tonight. Now, we're not going to be talking much about that. Well, we'll obviously be commentating it as we go, France versus Australia, but the major news that we have at the moment is the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo has been sacked by Manchester United with immediate effect, and he's gone. Ding dong, Ronaldo is gone. It's huge news, really is. And I mean, it's big. It's big. It really is, I have to say. Mentality, good to see you in. Blake is in as well. But yeah, Ronaldo is gone, guys. So for anyone who hasn't heard, sorry, now let me just fix the camera here. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, Ben says the Ten Hag way. Absolutely, it's huge news by Manchester United. I'll read the statement out for anyone who hasn't heard it. Cristiano Ronaldo is to leave Manchester United by mutual agreement with immediate effect. The club thank him for his immense contribution across two spells at Old Trafford, scoring 145 goals in 346 appearances, and wishes him and his family well for the future. Everyone at Manchester United remains focused on continuing the team's progress under Erik ten Hag and working together to deliver success on the pitch. And I love that last bit, I have to say, because that's what it's all about. And I've said that a few times throughout this whole kind of Ronaldo saga, that it's all about the team. It's all about the manager. It's all about the future. And I'm excited for it, I have to say. I really am excited for it. Ronaldo has come out with his own statement, which he's done quite a lot over the last week or so, you'd have to say. He's also said, following conversations with Manchester United, we have mutually agreed to end our contract early. I love Manchester United and I love the fans. That will never change. However, it feels like the right time for me to seek a new challenge. So, there we go. Tommy, thanks for the gift. Really appreciate it. Dean says, background quality. Yeah, if you want to watch the full experience, guys, we're live on YouTube as well. I've got we're in the whole new World Cup studio, so you can check it out. The link is on my homepage, or just search United Community Channel on YouTube. We're live over there as well. We're going to get we have the scoreboard and the timer and all of that stuff going as well. So go check it out. But yeah, just some other updates on it. Ronaldo says, I wish the team every success for the remainder of the season. And for anyone who's been wondering about, the contract situation, he won't be receiving a payoff. James Ducker in the Telegraph has said, club wanted a swift and clean resolution and have got it. And Ronaldo will not be receiving a payoff. Manchester United now Rob Dawson in ESPN also says that Manchester United are ready to sue Cristiano Ronaldo for breach of contract if a mutual termination could not be agreed, which I think it has been anyway. So, but yeah, Ronaldo's not getting a single penny. Club has terminated his contract. He leaves with nothing. So huge news. Smash a like on the video, guys, if you haven't done so already. And we're up and running here in the game. For anybody who's watching on YouTube, you can see on the bottom, yeehaw, Tommy. Thanks for the gift. Yeah, you can see the team. The starting 11 is on the bottom, guys. The ticker tape. So I've got the starting 11 of both teams up there as well. Anybody watching on TikTok, if you want to go check out the YouTube channel, like I said, we've got the live, or we've got the full experience over there. We've got the timer, the scoreboard, the ticker tape, all of that good stuff is there as well. So go check it out, United Community Channel. Get your score predictions in, guys. What do you reckon for tonight's game? France versus Italy, or France versus Australia. Oh, France are in early here. Dembele down the right-hand side. Cross out to the left now comes to Mbappe. Cuts back. Ball back across again. But Tommy, thanks for the gifts, pal. But the Aussies keep him at bay. Jock says 3-1 to France, I presume. Oshin reckons 2-1 to France. Dylan says 3-2 to France. Who else? Oshin is there as well. Huge news, but only outcome really. Yeah, absolutely. Already clubs distancing themselves from him though. yeah, I think I have a feeling he's going to struggle. Ronaldo is to find a club. Well, not to find a club, but to find a top club. You know, I don't think. Corner in there, and it's cleared. Oh, good strike in after it as well. But yeah, I mean, I have to applaud Manchester United. I really do. They've acted very, very efficiently with all of this. I mean, it's been less than a week basically since all of this broke, and they've got their ducks in a row as quickly as possible. And you know, they've got their legal advice in. They've found out what they can do. Can we terminate the contract? All of that stuff. And yeah, he's gone. End of story. So happy days, in my opinion. I Cristiano Ronaldo in another couple of years, all of this will be forgotten. It'll be water under the bridge, and you know, we'll remember him for, you know, the Champions League nights and winning the Premier League, and you know, the first Ballon d'Or winner for Manchester United outside of the 60s, I think. So, you know, but I'm glad he's gone. It's the only real conclusion that could have happened, you know, and I'm glad for the fact that the circus that follows him around is gone, and you know, his ego is gone, and everything has to revolve around him, you know, and Manchester United are in such a good upward trend at the moment in relation to the team and what the manager wants to do as a team and, you know, collectively. So I'm happy. Ben says, no Pogba tonight, ain't that a shame? LOL. Oshin says, I hope Twigs is okay though. Yeah, Twigs is a big Ronaldo fanboy, in fairness to him. So, Paul says, hey Jack, how's it going? Great news today. Yeah, look, it's the outcome we were expecting and the outcome the majority of people wanted. I've kind of, you know, I've put up some. Obviously, I've had my say on it on social media, on YouTube and on TikTok, and you know, I've got a lot of people disagreeing with me, and that's okay. They're all entitled to disagree with me, you know, in relation to Ronaldo leaving, and they think it's all United's fault. And the kind of general impression that I'm getting from anyone that thinks the club are all at fault here tends to be more of a Ronaldo fan than a Manchester United fan, if that makes sense. You know, they love Ronaldo more than they love the actual club, Manchester United. And that's not the case with me. I love Cristiano Ronaldo, if you know, and if he's playing and giving his all for Manchester United, then happy days. But if he's not, and he's going against the club, then bye-bye. Sorry, pal. Sorry. Only way is up, says Ben. Yep. Saudi Arabia put a good match. They had passion, says Faison. They did. It was a great result for them. Blake says, good news for us, but devastating news for Speed. It is. Speed no longer supports Manchester United, I don't think. Here's Mbappe now getting in down the left, but Australia cleared their lines. Paul says, did you see the early game today? It was a good one. It was very good, and it's so enjoyable sitting down watching a game at 10 o'clock in the morning, you know, and it being such a good game as well. Really happy. Let's see what people are saying on TikTok here. Onwards and upwards, says Tommy. Absolutely. Papa Doc says Ronaldo is too big for Manchester United. Nobody is bigger than Manchester United. Thank God that Ronaldo is put to bed and not dragged out. Everyone can move on, says Riki. Yeah, absolutely. Michael says, my brother supports United and he's glad he's gone as well. Tron says, we can all agree to disagree on the whole Ronaldo issue. Like everybody else, I wish him the best. There we go. Ruby says, from Ireland. Yep, from Kilkenny. Thomas is in, says, hi to everyone. Who will replace Ronaldo, says Travs. That'll remain to be seen. But the one thing we can take out of this, the fact that Ronaldo is gone, the one thing we'll take out of this is that Manchester United have to buy a striker in January. There's no other way around it. We have to buy a striker now in January, now that he's gone. And with the money being freed up by his, you know, his wages being off the books, it will free up that kind of money where we can go out and buy a striker. Who can you get in January? I don't know. And it does kind of worry me slightly when we have, we have to get a striker in now in January. But what tier of striker do you get? It's always hard to get a tier A striker, a tier A player in general in January. So if we can get a striker in, and it's not a tier A striker, is it going to work maybe not in our favour, where we should wait till the summer and actually go out and spend big money on a big striker? I don't know. But we certainly need someone. We really do. Party Pooper says, Ronaldo got what he wanted. Very disappointing. He did this, but it's best for the club. If he doesn't want to be there, absolutely. Oshin says, I enjoyed the Saudi game, but the Danish and Polish games were very forgetful. They were absolutely. And it's kind of, them first kind of games are a bit tense. But hopefully what we'll see is these kind of first games where teams probably don't want to lose more than anything, they're going to have to come out now in the second game and really go for wins. So hopefully the second round of fixtures will see a lot more quality, a lot more excitement. Paul says, it was a great game, but the ref was shocking though, with the head injury and injury. Yeah, he was very, very poor. I think the standard of refereeing in the World Cup so far has been quite bad. I really do. But yeah. Carl says, Ronaldo walks so Osman could run. I would take Osman in a heartbeat, so I would. And Shane says, let's go all out for Obafemi. Obafemi, right? Let's see. Andy says, it's good the Ronaldo circus has gone. United really don't need it at the moment. Absolutely. Andy says, just take the gamble for Gakpo. You could, yeah, absolutely. And obviously he's done. Oh, Australia are 1-up on France. Oh, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Oh, and the shocks keep coming here in this World Cup. Oh, and someone is down for France here. I don't know if this has anything got to do with the goal. It doesn't look like it because the Socceroos are celebrating like mad here. And 9 minutes gone and Australia are 1-up. So a diag from the centre back, a great ball across to the right winger. He has a lovely first touch and cuts inside. And a beautiful cross ball right along the line of the 6-yard box between the back line and the goalkeeper. No one can touch it in case it goes into the goal. But who's coming in at the back? I don't even know his name, but he buries it in the roof of the net. And the Socceroos are 1-up. What a start for the Australians. What a goal. What a goal. Come on, the Aussies. Now, Hernandez is down. He looks like he's in big bother holding his knee. But yeah, great goal. I have to say it. Paul says goal. Faison says, oh, Shane says, I can't believe my eyes, Clive. Doesn't look great for Pavard either. Yeah, I think it's Hernandez, I think. Skippy, Aussies, Hernandez. Yeah, and like, at least this might make a good game out of it, you'd have to say, because his first touch was lovely. Oh, and something went on Hernandez because there's no contact and it's a beautiful cross to the back post. Oh, it just skips it along the ground. Little skip, screw all the way to the back post, and great finish. Goodwin with the finish. Jay Faulkner says that was some goal. It was. Kai says no one replacing Ronaldo, that's for sure. Well, look, we'll never know unless we do replace him, will we? I certainly think that it's not going to be hard to match his performance level this season. I would match his performance level this season. That's how poor he's been. France or Denmark to go out in the group stage. I mean, we're in for some... I mean, obviously, we're after seeing the upsets already. You know, obviously the Saudi one being the big one. But, you know, France are obviously going to have to come out now. But the first touch made the goal. And a lovely diagonal crossfield ball by the centre-back. And he doesn't need... Like, his first touch takes a past the defender, just runs onto it. Really, really good. Smash a like on the video, guys. Anybody watching on YouTube, if you haven't already done so, take a second and hit the thumbs up button for me. Here's Mbappe now, cross into the box, but it goes for a corner. Yeah, take a second, hit the thumbs up button for me. And anybody watching on TikTok, do take a second, tap that screen a few times for us. We're going to aim for 10,000 likes. We're nearly at 1,000 already. Gets more people into the chat. And if you're new, hit the follow button as well. Thomas says... I replaced Ronaldo 45k a week. Wouldn't be bad, wouldn't it? Oh yeah, the scoreboard. I have to update the scoreboard here. Anybody watching on TikTok, guys, we're live over on YouTube as well. If you want to check it out, we've got the scoreboard, the timer, the starting 11 all on the screen. Click on the link on my homepage or just search United Community Channel. We can beat France at the Aviva, says Michael. Never, ever, 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 ever forgive the French over what they done to us in 2009, 2010. Never forgive them. But yeah. TD Productions says, what about Ronaldo? Yeah, we were just talking about it. Look, the right conclusion has happened. And we didn't waste any time, which I'm happy with. So he's out the door, onwards and upwards. Happy days. Oshin says, we also thought we'd never replace Hughes, Ince, Kanchelskis, Beckham, Keane. The Reds go marching on. There you go, Oshin. I love it, man. And I will I suppose what Oshin said there is spot on, and I will repeat what Roy Keane said about Paul Pogba. Ronaldo has left Manchester United once before, and Manchester United have been fine. And he's left us again. Manchester United will be fine. So, back the manager. Give him time. Give him what he wants. Because he can do it. He really can. He can certainly do it. But yeah, great to see so many people in, guys. Keep smashing the like button for us as well. Hit the follow button if you're new to the channel. Daily Manchester United and World Cup content. All of the watch-alongs throughout the season. And a bit of a laugh as well. The lads got me on YouTube last night. So good. With the names. They asked me, is Jack Mehoff playing? And I fell for it. I called it out live on stream. They got me lovely. Party's Pooper says France will score 4. I mean, Mbappe is looking dangerous down the left-hand side already. And you would expect with that kind of pressure that Australia will tire maybe. Just France just keeping the ball, working it left to right, tire them out, you know. Did you watch the documentary last night? FAI have to take some of the blame as well. I forgot to watch it, Michael. I totally forgot about it. But I might catch it on the RT player maybe. But yeah, I totally forgot to watch it. Shane says, we still haven't replaced Keane. Can you name any captain we had since he left that was an absolute leader on and off the pitch? I disagree with you, Shane. We did replace him because we went on to win 3 leagues in a row, a Champions League, all in the space of 5 years after he left. So we did replace him. We will never have another. Well, I won't say never, but it will be very hard to have another Roy Keane. But you know, the game and say the tactics all progressed and modernised, and you know, Carrick, Scholes, Fletcher, Ji-sung Park, all of these lads that played centre back. It was a different type of game where we went to kind of a 3 in the midfield more so than a 2 when Keane was there and all of that kind of stuff. So you know, The game moves on, and that's why Ferguson was such a good manager for so long. Party Pooper said, what documentary is that? Yeah, so RTE done a documentary last night on the Saipan incident when Keane was sent home from the 2002 World Cup. It will be on the RTE player. Now, I don't know, it's only available for if you're in Ireland, so, but I'm sure you get it eventually online somewhere. Michael says Carrick replaced him, yeah. And a different type of midfielder, but he certainly did. He took his number, and Ronaldo rubbing hands together at Argentina's result. Well, they still have to go out and win as well, Kai, but I think a lot of teams will be. Here's France now, gets to the end line, cut back, but Moy is well placed and he comes away with it for Australia. What League of Ireland team do you support? I don't really support one. I used to support Kilkenny City when they were in it, but they're not. They haven't been in it now for a long time. So yeah, I don't really support one. I used to go and watch a lot of Cork City games when I was in college down there, but yeah, and that's a few years ago now. We have a good game on our hands here, though, I have to say it. Kai says, so guessing you don't like Ronaldo now. I don't like anybody who goes against the club. I love the Ronaldo, you know, that we remember winning all them titles and Champions Leagues and Ballon d'Ors, but the Ronaldo that we've seen over the last couple of weeks is a Ronaldo I don't like. It's an unprofessional Ronaldo. It's a petulant Ronaldo. Yeah, so I don't like it. Shane says, fair point, to be honest. And Oisin Vidic was probably the closest. I'd agree. I mean, not all managers have to, or not all captains have to be blood and guts captains either, like Roy Keane was, or like Vidic, or, you know, like a Rio Ferdinand there would be a captain that didn't, you know, smash lads in a game and things like that, but kind of led by example by how professional he was and things like that. And similarly enough with the likes of a Gary Neville or a Ryan Giggs or something like that. And, you know, even say Rooney when he was captain of United, you know, a few years back, it was, that's a great tackle. And there you go, look, and it's just bollocks acting. So it's a brilliant tackle, and Tchouaméni goes down rolling around, holding his ankle, trying to buy a free kick. It's a brilliant, strong tackle. And he goes down screaming as if he's been fucking butchered with an axe. And he has a look up and realises he's not getting a free kick and jumps back up onto his feet. Fucking... I hate that, man. I hate it. So I do. Mbappe is so good. Any chance he'd come to United? I doubt it. I don't know if I'd want him, to be honest with you, though, with his with the big massive ego you're bringing with him. I mean, we're just after getting rid of one big massive ego. Do we really want to be bringing another one in? I don't know, but I wouldn't disagree with you in terms of the quality he has. He's a fantastic footballer. I think he's been given too much power at PSG and it's gone to his head a little bit. Oisin says the documentary was okay, far too much time for that clown McAteer and Paul Kimmage. Nothing new or inciting, just rehashing the last 20 years again. Yeah, there's been loads of them documentaries down to the years. How professional Ferdinand was. He was suspended for drugs. He wasn't suspended for drugs. He was suspended for missing a drug test. It's a big difference. He didn't have drugs in his system. He just never showed up to a drugs test. Oh! Strike from about 25 yards there from Australia. And Duke with the strike. Theo Hernandez gives it away. And he unleashes a bullet of a strike. it was a crossfield pass that just goes astray. Oh, yeah, and it's right into his path. Takes one touch. Oh, jeez, he wasn't far away at all. He wasn't. Let's have a look. And it's just with the outside of his boot, so it's slightly curling away all the time. Oh, it was inches away from being 2-0 to the Socceroos. Australia are coming again here. And they're playing with a lot of confidence. But they're playing with a lot of fight and hunger and, you know, which is something we've seen today already with Saudi Arabia. You know, and these so-called lesser teams are coming up against a lot of the favourites and they're outworking them and, you know, more desire, more hunger. It's easy to spot. It really is. See, they seem to be inflating the crowd sizes. Saw a post earlier about it. Yeah, I seen something as well that there was an announcement saying that there was 41,000 at the game when the stadium was only a 40,000 seater stadium. So, but you see with the Dutch game yesterday, it wasn't even half full. Wasn't even half full. France keeping a bit of possession here now. And they're coming down the left-hand side. Everton seems to be trying to get it to Mbappe. And his burst of pace is really, really impressive. But Australia are defending well against them. You'd have to say they cleared their lines again. Party Pooper says he's a superstar though. United need the best players. Who else do we get? Yeah, but you have to get the balance right as well, you know. I don't know. I just think these big ego superstars. I don't know. It's kind of the collective that Ten Hag is building there around team spirit and team performances and not being centred around one individual player. I think that would go completely against what he's trying to do if we were to sign the likes of an Mbappe. I don't think we won't get Mbappe anyway, but the official attendances of each game at the World Cup so far: Qatar versus Ecuador, 67,000, stadium capacity 60. England versus Iran, 45,000, stadium capacity 40. Crazy. Let's see what people are saying on TikTok here. Patrick says, so glad I didn't get Ronaldo number 7 on my jersey. Adam asked what the score is. It's 1-0 to Australia, guys. Opinions on Gakpo? Yeah, I mean, I think he's a very good player, and you know, obviously, he's been heavily linked with Manchester United in the January transfer window. Talks of about 45 million for him, and I certainly wouldn't be against it. Absolutely not. Is he the out-and-out striker that we need? He can play through the middle, but he's predominantly been playing off the left-hand side, I think, and that's the last thing we need is another winger or another left-sided player. Dembele now with a ball into Griezmann, who gets a shot away but it's blocked and goes out for a corner. See the injury for Saudi Arabia? Yeah, there was a tough one. Guinness says, did you shed a tear for Ronaldo? Absolutely not, I didn't. No way. He's still a legend of the club. Well, I'm not going to go as far as a legend, but he's still one of the best players the club has ever had. But I cannot put him up there in the same bracket as, you know, Bobby Charlton or 1-1! And it's Adrien Rabiot with a header and a lovely cross in. And the ball in was absolutely salubrious. And Rabiot was just there, got in between two defenders, got up really well. Keeper hasn't got a hope, just outside the 6-yard box. Gets up, heads it onto the target, and it's 1-1. And you would be fearful for Australia now, because France have certainly been in the ascendancy the last few minutes. Lovely little kind of... Lovely... Oh, yeah, it was a lovely half cross in from maybe halfway outside the box, and little left foot cross in, and Rabiot just gets in between two defenders, gets up, heads the ball back the other way. Keeper hasn't a hope. 1-1. Let's see. Twin says United played better without him. Yeah, I think so too. Patrick says, I think the Qatar FA needs some math lessons. Yeah, by the looks of it, they do. United in for Rabiot. Oh, no, I'm glad we didn't sign that, lad. That's trouble. That is now. With his mother as well coming with him. Aaron, Jack hasn't come on tonight. No, he hasn't. And I'm never falling for that one ever again. Oh, God. I can't believe I fell for it. And usually if someone asks me about a player, before I read out the comment, I will, I'll just take the name and I'll Google it real quick. And I never did. And I just fucking straight in read it out. Bosh. Jack me off. What's your biggest regret? Getting a name on your jersey. I got Kanchelskis 3 weeks later. He was sold. Says Oshin. I was never a big. I don't think I think I only ever once got a player on the back of my jersey. I got Van Nistelrooy in 2002 on the long sleeve jersey. I think that's it. I don't think I've ever had a name on the jersey after that for that exact reason, Oshin. Oshin says, Salubrious, did you get a Thesaurus? Nah, I have that one in the locker. I pull that Salubrious card out every now and again. PSG keep feeding Mbappe money, which grows his ego, says Faison. Oh, nearly another header. Well, it is another header by Giroud there, but he heads it over. He's a well-groomed man, Giroud is, isn't he? Just another lad, like we said, like Luke Shaw, just has a hairline that's fucking right there, right across his forehead. And then the beard is perfectly aligned and shaped to his obscure jawline. Aaron says, I'm the only person who puts my own name on the shirt. Which club is Ronaldo going to? He doesn't have one lined up. And he can't go until... Well, I suppose he can since we terminate his contract. But... Yeah, I don't know where he's going to go, to be honest. Wouldn't it be mad if no one came in for him, even though he was a free agent? Opinions on Gakpo? Let's get him signed. I'd be happy with him. Oren says, I asked for a name on a Man U jersey a few years back, and I asked for Martial and got Mata number 9. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Yer says he's going to Sporting Lisbon. How do we know that? How old is Giroud? Tell you now. I will tell you now. Giroud is 36 years of age. 36 years of age. Fiorentina is my bet, says Dean, on Ronaldo. Aaron says, hope you're doing great. I'm watching the game from Donegal. Hon Donegal. Now, let's see what people are saying here. Oshin says, possibly the best beard in world football. Yeah, it is pretty decent, isn't it? In fairness. And Viva Garnacho, says Ben. There we go now. Yes or a no into the chat from everybody. Do you give Garnacho the number 7? Yes or no? Let's see what everyone is saying in the chat. Oh, here's France coming. Rabiot, all he has to do is square it. Giroud has a tap in, and it's 2-1 to France. It's 2-1 to France. A lovely work goal. A lovely, 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 lovely goal. A simple goal, but France got 2-1 up, and they've been putting the pressure on here the last few minutes. And they've been pressing Australia very high up the field. And a well-deserved goal. And Rabiot has a goal and an assist here. And Giroud, we only said, is 36 years of age, but he's still scoring goals for France. And so Australia are trying to play out and gets the ball all the way to the right full, who has a heavy touch, and France are pressing high, and Rabiot wins it back, squares it to Giroud on the edge of the 6-yard box. He has a tap in, and it's 2-1. You'd have to fear for Australia now at this stage. Yeah, let me see what people are saying. So, yes or no into the chat. Do you give... We'll go again. So, everyone get it into the chat. Do you give Garnacho the number 7 now that... Jeez, I never updated the scoreboard. Apologies, guys. Do you give Garnacho the number 7 jersey now that Ronaldo is gone? Yes or no into the chat. Luke says no. Patrick says no. Oren says no. Oshin says yes. Christian says no. Aaron says no. Dean says no. Not proved himself yet. Jonathan says no. Thomas says yes. Mighty Lions says yes. Mighty Lions is in from down under. You snuck in there. Didn't see you come in. You must be happy with how I know you're 2-1 down, but you must be happy with how you're playing. Aaron says no. Let him earn it first. Jock says yes. Riki says yes. Craig says no, not proved himself to earn that legendary number. Faison says no. Oshin says yes. There we go. So I'd give it to him. I'd give it to him. It wouldn't bother me in the slightest. I think he has the potential to be good. I mean, when Ronaldo came in 2003, was it? Nobody knew who he was. Basically, nobody knew who he was. And Garnacho is a lot more known now than Ronaldo was back then. And Ronaldo got the number 7 jersey. So I don't see why we wouldn't give it to him. And the one thing I think about Garnacho with the number 7 jersey is that I think the kid has the shoulders and the confidence to carry it. I really do. So I'd have no problem with him getting it. Absolutely not. Ben says, if you don't give it to Ronaldo, who do you give it to? And that's an interesting question as well. Would the likes of Anthony want to take it? I don't know if you can change someone's number mid-season. I'm not sure. But I'm sure you can. But, yeah, I don't know. Wait now. So, big breaking news, guys. It's just after breaking from Sky Sports News. Manchester United owners are exploring a sale as the Glazer family seeks new investment. A statement confirming the Glazer family's intentions could come immediately or imminently. Massive, massive breaking news. Massive breaking news at the moment. The Glazer family, I just want to double check this now. It's coming from Sky Sports News. The Glazer family, this is coming from Sky. The Glazer family are preparing to formally announce its intention to examine potential sources of outside investment that could include a full-blown auction of Manchester United. Huge news. Huge, huge, huge news. Breaking as we're live here. It's looking like the Glazers want to sell up, or at least sell a part of their part of their shares in Manchester United as they seek investment. This is huge news. Huge news. And it's about time, really, isn't it? It's about time. Now, obviously, we'll get more as the news breaks, but as of now, it looks like the Glazers are looking to sell a stake in Manchester United. Massive news. Massive, massive news. And we'll keep you up to date as it comes. Huge news. Ben says 15 years late. UCC offer on the way, says Ben. Not on Sky Sports TV yet. Yeah, I'm looking at it on Twitter, guys. It's coming in live on Twitter. So it's Sky Sports News have been tagged in the statement. Mark Kleinman from Sky News City editor. So yeah, huge news. Huge news. Huge, huge news. Let's see what people are saying here. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep up to date with. Patrick says Glazers out. Get 'em out, says Mighty Lions. Yes. Good. Glazers out, says Dean. I'll drink to that, says Patrick. They're going to do what Liverpool are doing, says Dave. Riki says class of 92 going to buy it. I don't know if they'd have the money. Breaking on Sky says only man alive, yeah. Where are you reading this off? Yeah, it's on Twitter, guys. It's all over Twitter at the moment. Craig says, thank God they've finally seen sense. If they've relinquished half their ownership, will be a good thing. Could be down to Ronaldo speaking out, says Colin. Maybe so. Michael says Sky Sports are usually late breaking the story. Yeah, they usually are. They dot the I's and cross the T's. Robert says, I'm late. What's going on? The Glazers are looking to sell United, Robert. That's the latest breaking news. And France are 2-1 up. Ronaldo interview, the best thing that ever happened, says Jonathan. And Ala Madrid, I don't speak Spanish. Let's see. Katie says, you seen Sky News? Yeah, we're just talking about Katie. Party Pooper says, this is on the back of Ronaldo's interview. I wonder, you never know. I do think, though, I heard, Mbappe, oh no. So I heard, I don't know where I heard it a couple of weeks ago, that someone said that if the Glazers are looking to sell, that they'll be doing business and they'll be looking to, to get investors in the background. And there was a number of investors in America, in New York, that met with the Glazers. And obviously due to legal restraints couldn't be announced or nothing could be mentioned, and someone said this looks like the Glazers are looking to sell, if they're looking at getting people in who would potentially be interested in buying into the club. And that was a few weeks ago. So I have a feeling maybe the Ronaldo interview sped up the process, but I think the Glazers the last few weeks and months maybe have been open to sell. I really do. Let's see. Smash a like on the video, guys, if you haven't already. Glazers are selling Manchester United, and if that doesn't deserve a thumbs up on YouTube and a fucking follow on TikTok, then I don't know what does. Smash the like button for Glazers out. Looks like the Glazers are looking to sell part, if not all, of Manchester United, and it's breaking news at the moment. It's huge, huge news, and it's very welcoming news for the majority of Manchester United fans. So it is. Huge news. Chris Wheeler Chris Wheeler from the Daily Mail says Manchester United are not commenting on reports that Glazers are looking to bring in new investors that could include selling the club. So United have not made a comment on it as of yet, but these stories are not coming out without some truth behind it, which is huge. It really is huge. Collars up, says Ben. I wish I had the jersey on now and turned the collars up. Guys, there's plenty of comments coming in. I can't read them all, okay? Faison and Katie, I'll get to them when I can get to them. So just chill out. There's plenty of other people in the chat. Here's France. Oh, Griezmann with a strike. It's all of this Glazer news breaking. It's we still do have a match to do a watch along on here. Let's see. Niall says, Jesus, this is going from a good evening to a great evening. Not on Sky Sports News yet, no. Yeah, look, I would say, what is it? It's 20 to 8. I'd say at the 8 o'clock bulletin we'll probably get an update on it. Oshin says it's all over Sky News though. Yeah, it's on Sky News, maybe not Sky Sports News yet. Chris says, let's go. Ben says, should give us money for Bellingham as a gift to say sorry and do one after that. Absolutely. Collars up. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what people are saying on... I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do hoods up for Glazers out. Hoods up for Glazers out. Hoods up for the Glazers out. Hoods up for the Glazers out. Craig Bravo says, I think Jim Radcliffe would be favoured to buy us. Didn't he not say a couple of weeks ago though that he's not he's out of the running to buy it? He doesn't want to buy it anymore. I don't know. With these statements tonight, change his mind? I don't know. What's these rumours about Sadio Mane? I have no idea. Dara says, what's the news? I haven't heard anything. So the Glazers are open to selling Manchester United. It's just breaking the last few minutes. So let me see. I'm just going to refresh the feed here and see, is there anything new? Yeah, so James Ducker in the Telegraph has also come out and said that United are not commenting on the reports either. And this is massive news. It really, really is massive, massive news. Yeah, I'm going to take down this hood. It seems like a lot of football owners are taking shares and selling their clubs. Liverpool sold, looking for offers now. Man United, and Niall says they mentioned it there now. Still talking about Ronnie though. Fuck Ronnie. Ronaldo gone, and the Glazers potentially looking to sell. This is a great day. Here's Griezmann. Oh, Mbappe! How did he miss it? He was inside the 6-yard box with a kind of a scissors volley kick. Scissors volley kick? A scissors kick volley. And it should be 3-1 to France. It really, really should. Right at half time. Lovely crossfield ball by Upamecano, and Griezmann is in behind the left full. Takes it down, and Mbappe has a whole 6-yard box himself and a wide open goal and blazes it over the bar. Still 2-1. Be hard pushed to find a club to pay $500k a week to a 37-year-old. Do you think France made a good comeback? They did. Craig says, I think that was because Glazers wanted to still hold a small percentage of the club, and Jim Radcliffe wanted 100%. Okay. Where are you reading the news? It's on Twitter, guys, that I'm getting it on. Anyway, all of the major reporters and journalists are coming out stating it, but all of the journalists are also saying that there's no comment from United, which is interesting. So yeah. Oh, Australia nearly scored. Oh, let's have a look at this again. And that is some mustache, by the way. It's a real Australian mustache. And France go to sleep here. So, get to the end line down the left, and there's a chip pulled back, and the header. Oh, the header, and Lloris is stranded, and it hits the post and goes out for a goal kick. And France need to be careful here, because you go sleep like that, Australia are not going away. They're not going away. They won't comment until they have something concrete. Bad for January window, says Chris. Well, yeah, I agree with you there, Chris. It is bad for the January transfer window, because if your owners are trying to get out of the club, now not that they're putting any of their own money into it anyway, but are they trying to suck as much out of it before they sell? I mean, Guinness asked there, how much do you reckon you're worth? I don't know, like, how much was Chelsea sold for? How much was Chelsea bought for? 4.25 billion. Well, if Chelsea goes for 4.25, you're talking upwards of 6 billion, you'd have to say, really, wouldn't you? Now, Craig, thanks for the gifts, man. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're talking upwards of 6 billion, now you will want another billion to go into redeveloping the stadium and redeveloping the training ground, and then you probably over the next 5 years would want another billion to invest in terms of players and transfer windows and things like that. So whoever's going to be coming in here and buying this club is going to be spending upwards of what, 8-9 billion? Who's going to have that kind of money? You know what I mean? How would we feel about a Saudi buyer? Well, Saudi Arabia are already in. Is it Saudi Arabia? Is Man City? Is it, or is that? I think it is, or is Saudi Arabia Newcastle? But they're already in. Would you want blood money at the top? You don't want that in any walk of life. You know, any right person wouldn't want that. You know, and I'm trying to be as fair as possible. Nobody wants money from state-funded organisations, you know. But on the flip side of that, ask any Newcastle fan now, do they care? I don't think they do, because they're winning games, they're top of the table. You know, the money that they're investing into the club, you know, and you know, I don't know, this fit and proper test that's done by the Premier League for new owners coming in. If they pass that, they pass that. It doesn't take away the fact that maybe what might be going on in other countries. But as football fans, all you can ask for is confident people running your club and for them to invest into the club. You know what I mean? So outside of that, you know, Party Pooper says, loving all the additional minutes at these World Cup games. Yeah, there's been a lot. Oshin says, this could knock millions off the value at the exchange tonight. Well, what I would say to anybody is that if you have a few pounds to spare and you're looking to put money into anything, buy United shares tonight once the price drops. Because once a new owner comes in, the price is going way back up. Let me check, is there any further updates here, guys? Nothing as of yet. We keep a close eye on Twitter here. Wished. So Samuel Luckhurst has an article up. Tonight's Sky News story is significant but unsurprising. The feeling earlier this year was the Glazers would eventually have to bring in additional investment to improve Man United's cash flow. Jim Ratcliffe will need to move more than wealth to end the Glazers' Man United ownership. I don't know if that's... no update since the last one. But it's huge news. Half time in the game, guys. France are 2-1 up. And a good first half, you'd have to say. I know we got a bit distracted by the Glazers out uproar there. But it's been a good game. It has been a good game so far. Barry says, very thorough. We need a footballing person to come in and buy the club. Yeah, absolutely, Barry. Sue says, what a hectic day. Ronaldo gone and Glazer selling the clubs. Great day, isn't it? Great day. Mighty Line says, Ronaldo interview rocked the boat, I think. Maybe so, or maybe it just sped up the process. I don't think this is after coming off the back of Ronaldo's interview. I think if the Glazers are doing this, they would have been thinking about this for weeks and months. But maybe the Ronaldo interview just sped up the process. Jock says Radcliffe all the way. Wouldn't it be brilliant? Wouldn't it just be brilliant for Radcliffe to come in and buy the club? It really would. Smash a like on the video, guys, if you haven't done so already. And anyone new to the TikTok channel, daily Manchester United and World Cup content. We're doing all of the watch-alongs as well for the World Cup. And obviously the Manchester United watch-alongs for the remainder of the season. So if you're new to the channel, hit the follow button. Helps the channel out an awful lot. We're closing in on 21,000 followers, which is great. I appreciate all the kind words as well when we broke 20,000. So if you're new, hit that follow button and smash a like on the video as well if you're watching on YouTube too. We've had 1,200 viewers in on YouTube and only 14 likes. Get the thumbs up, guys, if you're new or if you haven't done so. Oh, hi. Are you going to bed? Are you going to bed? Yeah? You going to bed? Good night. 1 sec. Now, we're back. Musk to buy United, Elon buy, wouldn't that be great? Ronaldo and Glazers gone in a few hours. Wow, says Liam. Ala Madrid says Manchester United need Alex Ferguson. Alright, whatever. Guinness says, I must start my own broadcast so I won't have to put my kids to bed. Listen, man. I look after that fucking child all day, every day, while the missus is working, so this is my downtime. What's new on the Glazers? So nothing new so far. Reports have suggested that they're open to selling, getting new investment into the club, which basically means they're looking to sell, but potentially not full stake in the club. Now we have an update here. Mark Lyman from Sky says the Glazers family, who has owned Manchester United for... Here we go. Sky News. 1 sec. Let me see, can I get some volume on this for you to hear?
Now then, after news
can you hear that?
Ronaldo will be leaving Manchester United with...
Tell me, can you hear that? Put a yes in on TikTok and on YouTube. Can you hear that? Right, TikTok can hear it and YouTube can hear it. Right, have a listen to this.
Now then, after news that Cristiano Ronaldo will be leaving Manchester United with immediate effect, we have some more breaking news from Old Trafford. Straight to our city editor, Mark Kleinman, who's outside the club. Well, it all seems to be happening there tonight. Mark, what have you got?
That's right, Dermot. A day of big news departures from Old Trafford with Ronaldo's exit from the club confirmed a couple of hours ago. What I can reveal tonight is that an even more significant development is on the horizon, and that is that the Glazer family, which has owned Manchester United for the last 17 years, is finally preparing to sell up. Now, as I understand it, the family, the club will announce within the next couple of days, possibly as soon as tonight, that it is looking at alternative financing options to fund the future development of Manchester United. Now, that could include the sale of a minority stake in the club, it could involve a partnership with third-party investors, but it also is going to involve exploring whether to conduct an outright sale of Manchester United, arguably the world's most famous football club. Now, of course, Dermot, the Glazers have owned Manchester United since 2005, and it's been a tenure dogged by controversy. Controversy over the dividends that the majority shareholders have paid themselves. Controversy over United's declining on-pitch performance. Remember, the Red Devils have not won a Premier League title since 2013, and the aftermath of the Sir Alex Ferguson era has been punctuated by a series of managerial failures and a churn in a playing squad that has left United trailing far behind local rivals Manchester City and bitter rivals Liverpool. Now, as I understand it, Dermot, as I say, this announcement could come within the next few hours. It doesn't necessarily mean that the Glazers will sell out, but we are now much closer to that possibility than we've been at any point since 2005. Back in 2010, a group of fans led by the City economist Lord Jim O'Neill formed a group called the Red Knights in an attempt to force the Glazers to relinquish control of the club. In more recent times, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the Ineos petrochemicals billionaire, has said that he would be interested in buying Manchester United, but recently distanced himself from the possibility. Nevertheless, it is conceivable that we will now see an auction of Manchester United that attracts billionaires from around the world. And what's also worth noting, Dermot, is that this potential sale process will come at the same time that Liverpool is also exploring a sale of either a minority or a controlling stake. It's pretty much unprecedented to see two of English football's biggest names simultaneously exploring sale processes of this kind. So seismic news tonight from Old Trafford, both about Cristiano Ronaldo's exit, but also the potential change of ownership of Manchester United for the first time.
You think you'd be able to go somewhere and get where there's not cars? Fucking hell. That is absolute massive news. Massive news. So the owners, the Glazers, are looking to sell. Fucking happy days. Now, does it surprise you that they're looking at potentially auctioning the club off? No, it doesn't. Because they obviously want to get as much fucking money into their back pocket as humanly possible to leave. So we can talk about Jim Ratcliffe all we want. If this club is up for auction and owners are coming in for it, and, you know, Jim Ratcliffe says, I'm not going over 7 billion, and someone comes in and offers 8 billion, then he's going to say, all right, see you later. You know what I mean? He's a smart businessman. But on the flip side of that, if you're auctioning off the club, now you can, correct me if I'm wrong on this one now, but if you're auctioning off the club and it's an auction, it's going to be the highest bidders, it's going to be really, 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 really wealthy people, you know. So are you going to get a state-sponsored owner like the Saudis, or, you know, or are you going to get a multi-billionaire? You know, obviously the Elon Musk rumours were flying around as well. So, look, the good news is, over anything else, is that the Glazers are willing to sell the club and are looking to sell it. The Glazer family, who have owned Manchester United for the last 17 years, are finally preparing to sell up. It's huge news. It's absolutely huge, huge news. Huge news. Let's see what people are saying here. Get in, you beauty, says Ben. Glazers selling the club, says Kevin. Niall says, would it be bad to go on the beer on a Tuesday night to celebrate? I don't think so, Niall. I don't think anyone would blame you. Chris says, let's go. Can you tell me why Radcliffe would be such a good owner? Don't hear about much here in the States. Well, he's basically a lifelong Manchester United fan, Chris. And he grew up going to Old Trafford when he was a kid. And he's always been a United fan down through the years. And he's a multi-billionaire through... He has his own chemical company. He owns... is it Nice or FC Nantes in France, and has done an unbelievable job with them, and he's owned an F1 team as well, I think. So he's well into sport, and he knows how to run a club. So he would be the ideal candidate. He really would. But again, he's a smart man. He's not going to get into a bidding war with someone once it goes over the valuation that he thinks the club is at, you know. Oshin said they're going to be worse than Daniel Levy to deal with, though. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. If someone comes in with the right amount, I think they'll just grab the hand and all off him. You'd never know. Kevin says, Dylan says Mbappe has been so good so far. And Kevin says, we will, and the UK get a bye into the Euros if we co-host it with them in 2028. Do Ireland get that as well? Ireland and the UK? Let's see what people on TikTok are saying here. There will be a minimum reserve price, says Craig. Though, like we were saying, probably around 7 billion. Yeah, probably. Michael says the only ones who can buy him are probably the Arabs or Saudis. Reen says Iran and Qatar are worse than the Republic of Ireland. Matt says needs a lot of money spent though. New stadium, new training facilities. Yeah, if you spend 7 or 8 billion buying the club, you're going to end up spending 10 billion by the time the stadium is done, the training ground is done, you get players in and all that kind of stuff. Michael says Ineos sponsor of the Mercedes F1 team. Yeah, I knew he had something to do with F1. All right. Tyke says Ronaldo made the Glazers sell. The butterfly effect. Without that interview, you wouldn't see that. I disagree. Tyke. I think something like this is not after popping up in 3 or 4 days. It really hasn't. This has been going on for weeks, I think, in the background. Someone mentioned it, I think, on Sky Sports a few weeks back that the Glazers had been spotted in New York meeting with high-value people, supposedly, that obviously, legally, they're not allowed to speak about it. So I think the Glazers have been open to sell for weeks and months now. Now, maybe that Ronaldo interview has sped up the process maybe a little bit, but I think the Glazers have probably been looking to get out for the last few months, I'd say. And these things take time, you know what I mean? Yeah, fair point. Must have been going on for a while. Yeah, I'd say so. And look, I mean, even if the club is to be sold, it can probably be sold quickly enough. I mean, we see how fast Chelsea was eventually sold for, or in the time frame. So, you know, by the summer, hopefully, we could have new owners. We really could, you know. A bigger boat says probably saw the Liverpool owners looking to sell and had to act quick as well. Yeah, maybe so. But yeah, it's good news, guys. Good news all around. So the kind of circus around Ronaldo is gone, and now potentially we're getting new owners, which is now look, it's not going to happen tomorrow or the next day, under no circumstances. But it's huge. It's absolutely huge. Glazers out, man. Jeez, I never thought this day had come. We'll all go on the beer though once the day finally comes where they're gone. We'll all go on the beer. Will we open a pack here? Let's open a pack and see how we get on. World Cup sticker pack. Niall says, top 4 finish, Ronaldo gone and the Glazers sell. That'd be a good season. That'd be a great season. Great season. What do we do with our yellow and green scarves? Know what you do with them, Ben? Put them into a frame and say, I helped get the Glazers out. That's what you do. Right. Matty Cash. Matty Cash? I did not know Matty Cash was from Poland. So I didn't. Jesus, Matty Cash is from Poland. Did not know that. Don't know him, don't know him, don't know him. Oh, and we finished with another Polish player. Can you guess who it is? Polish striker. First name gets it there. First person in gets it. Polish striker. Who we got? Lewandowski. You're all there. You're all getting it. That's a good player to pack now. Happy days. Right, we're nearly ready to go with the second half here, guys. The Glazers are selling. Come on! Happy days. Happy days. Oisin said, I swore I'd never go back to Old Trafford as long as the Glazers were there. Might have to price a weekend away in Manchester next year. Get on it, Oisin. Get on it, man. Fair play to you, boy. Paddy says Matty Cash is English. Well, he's fucking playing for Poland according to these stickers. There you go. Look. Matty Cash. Poland. Defender. Defender's over here, look. I thought he was English as well. His mother has Polish blood, says Graham. Right, okay. A lot of people saying there his mother or his granny or something's Polish, so that's usually how it works, ain't it? But Brian says United are for sale. Yeah, we've just been talking about Brian. Brilliant news. Ronaldo gone. And the club up for sale all in the one day. Craig says, I wrote previously, them high-value associates, apparently they met with was Beckham and his consortium. Interesting. Interesting, certainly is. Great to see so many people in, guys. Please do smash a like on the video. If you haven't done so already, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on TikTok, hit the follow button for me. Helps the channel out an awful lot. Daily Manchester United content and World Cup content as well. We're going to be doing a hell of a lot of watch-alongs throughout the World Cup, so make sure you don't miss out. And if you do have the follow button hit, or you're subscribed, make sure you hit the bell notification as well, so you get notified then when we go live, so you don't miss out on anything. Tim says, need owners that actually know about football. Yeah, absolutely. Agree with you, Tim. Absolutely. And Ronaldo going to Arsenal, says Brian. I don't think Arsenal would be stupid enough to buy him, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I think Arteta, it took him long enough to get rid of Aubameyang. I don't think he would be silly enough to go in and get a player like Ronaldo. I don't know. Maybe they might. I don't know. Shane says we have to be careful what we wish for. Dylan says we'll all be on the beer as soon as the Glazers are gone. And Ben says so much for the France-Australia game. LOL. Yeah. Now I've been watching it. I've been trying to watch it as much as possible. But it's a good game. It's been a good game. Craig, thanks for the gifts, man. Really appreciate it. Or Chelsea, says Brian. Thinking of selling the club, says Pat. Yeah. Good news coming out tonight, Pat. I doubt Ronaldo stays in the Premier League, says Michael. Well, he can go anywhere he wants now because his contract is terminated. He's basically a free agent, so. Tim says Ronaldo probably goes to Portugal and retires soon. But he said he wants to play till he's 40, so. Sure, you know who'd be in to buy them now? United fan and nice owner Jim Radcliffe. I wouldn't mind Jim Radcliffe. We were only mentioning it, all right. At least won't interrupt Liverpool's match again. Yeah, there'll be no protests on the pitch again, Pat. But I do think they've played a big part in this, maybe in this conclusion that we've come to with the owners, looking to sell up. These protests have definitely helped, I think. If there wasn't protests and there wasn't so many fans, on board with all of this, they would be happy just to sit there, I reckon, and continue to cash in, A very good evening, says Mark. Certainly is. I'm not saying that name, Craig, because I can't. I know what that is now. I know what that is. I'm trying to say it in my head here. And yeah, alright. You're not getting me now. I learnt my lesson yesterday about reading out these fucking bogus names. And not falling for it again. Who do you think United will buy in January? To be honest with you, Brian, it's a kind of a thing that I say an awful lot before transfer windows. And especially, and United fans know this in spades, that we will be linked with the world and their grandmother in January. It happens every transfer window. United are linked with everybody. And so it's always hard to pick the ones that are actually true. I don't care who we sign in January. I hope we sign someone. I hope we sign a few players as much as possible. But I completely 100% trust Ten Hag on if he decides to go in and get someone. Because his transfers so far have been really, really good. You know what I mean? He's bought well, so I trust him. United shares have dropped from $15.38 to 15.12 in the last 5 minutes. There you go. Yeah, I'd be buying some Manchester United shares now if I had a few bob. Because once new owners come in, they're going straight back up. Conor McGregor, the new owner, says Pat. Mighty Lines, says Craig. When they're around $6, give me a shout. France just made it did. I just caught the end of it there. Who's going to win the World Cup? I think Brazil are going to win it. But there's always a bit of a surprise with the World Cup, really. It's never smooth sailing. Frank says, I'm from Ghana. I'm happy when I see the flag, the Black Star. Good to see you, Frank. Thanks for joining us. Craig says, I saw the Jack fit earlier you posted. It was hilarious. Yeah, the fuckers got me. Chris got me lovely yesterday in the chat. So he did. Oshin said, Ronnie will follow the Glazers back to Tampa, play football with Tom Brady. And Shane said, what's your opinion on a petrol state buying Man United? Personally, I'd snap their hands off for them to buy it, but I can't see it going down well in the media, given what was said about Newcastle. Yeah, and we were talking about that a few minutes ago, Shane. It's down to the Premier League to do the fit and proper test for, any new owners coming in. And there's nothing us as fans can do about that. We're totally out of the loop when it comes to things like that. Now, obviously, you don't want, if you give me the option of a Jim Radcliffe or a state-owned organisation, like say the Saudis or whoever it is, I would pick Jim Radcliffe. But as long as the owners that come into Manchester United are, capable owners that run the club properly and that invest into the club, then as fans, that's all we can ask for. Everything else needs to be done by either government or the Premier League, and there's nothing we can do about that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Free now. Mbappe swings it in too deep, goes out for a goal kick. But yeah. Mentality. Stop spamming the chat. You only have to say it once. But yeah, I mean, it's great news, really, isn't it? And I look for another update here and see. Let's see. Oh, wait now. So here, right, we're talking about the share price. Manchester United share price up 17% following an announcement of potential sale by Glazers has already added almost 400 million to the club's market capitalisation. There we go. Oh my God. So Twitter has a yoke up here. So Vincent Kompany was asked if he would take Cristiano Ronaldo at Burnley. And do you know what his response was? We need players who can run. Oh. Burn. Big burn. Big burn. Any other updates there? Let me see. Laurie Whitwell says Manchester United are not commenting on the news of potential sale by the Glazers, which we already know. So that's the latest update so far, guys. What if this whole Ronaldo thing was a big, massive ploy to get the Glazers out and we re-sign him in January on 400 grand a week? And as the famous Andy Tate said,
it was all part of the master plan, wasn't
it? Brilliant. Brilliant. Boom. Let's get through some of the comments. Only room for one big head in the Burnley dressing room, though. His company's noggin is massive already. All this about France versus Australia, not Man United being sold. Well, it is my stream and I'll do what I want on it, so wouldn't surprise me if the Glazers done this announcement just for the share price to go up and then be able to take more loans out to buy a striker, and you never know. Sorry, my internet is diving around a bit dodgy, says Chris. Why Jim Radcliffe? Why would he be good? He's a lifelong Manchester United fan for one, Chris, and he owns French club Nice, and has done a brilliant job with them. And he's been involved in other sporting things like Formula One and stuff like that. He just would be a great owner. He really would. And he's a Manchester United fan more than anything all his life. So, yeah. If France go far, Giroud wouldn't be a bad shout for Golden Boot, says Steve. Glazers out, we back, baby, says Wayne. Absolutely, we back, baby. Fans turning on a hero, very United fan behaviour. Chris, if you're a United fan or a Ronaldo fan, then go off and support Ronaldo. But if you're a United fan, you're talking through your arse. And if you're neither, then just jog on anyway. I hope United will fall down. I'd be very happy, says David. Alright. Interesting to see what Goldbridge says about it. Yeah, it would be. Janat says, I hope United will be bought by English, not Arab or American. Brian says, Old Trafford needs a bit of work done to it. It certainly does. And the training ground. And Gavin says, just in, the Glazers have put United up for sale. We've just seen a text there. The New York Stock Exchange. Yeah, we've been keeping up to date with it here. It's great news. It's absolutely great news. Andy Tate, boy, what a legend. Create a load of controversy about Ronaldo. Let on he wants to leave. Terminate his contract. Get the Glazers to sell. Re-sign him in January.
It was all part of the master plan, wasn't it?
Jamie says they're looking between 6 to 9 billion. They won't get that. Well, they'll get the small end of that. They'd get 6 or 7 billion for it, I think. I mean, Chelsea went for nearly 5, so United would easily go for 6, if not 7. But 9, I think, will be too high. Let's see what people are saying on YouTube here. Jane says, sorry lads, who scored for France? So Giroud got the second one and Rabiot got the first one, Jane. Alex says Radcliffe should stay in his lane of F1. Well, he owns a football club already, Alex. So would we want a brand new stadium or refurbish Old Trafford? I'd say refurbish Old Trafford. Oh, here's Mbappe is in. Oh, great tackle. I'd say refurbish Old Trafford. You know, one stage at a time. Like if United are to move out of Old Trafford for a year while you rebuild it, or a couple of years, where would you go? I don't know, but like you look at Real Madrid, for example, with the Bernabeu. And they stayed there while rebuilding maybe a stand at a time. Now, I know there was a short period where they were playing at their training ground, but for a lot of the rebuilding of the stadium, they were still actually playing there. They just done it in kind of sections, you know. Fans want him out of Nice, says Shane. I don't know. Well, I was watching a Sky Sports report on him only a couple of months back, maybe in the summertime, when the reports of him wanting to buy United first came out, and he was very, according to the Sky Sports News report, he was very fondly thought of, and they said he was doing great things at the club, so I don't know. Mark says, I was there working on the Stretford end when Cantona signed that day. Very good, I remember that actually. He was shouting up at the lads working there. Richard says Giroud's bicycle would have been a great goal. It would have. Black Star will win the World Cup. It's going to be a great tournament. The World Cup is Black Star Ghana, says Frank. Is United up for sale, says User. Yep, it is. Just breaking in the past hour or so. Here's France now getting into the box. Mbappe. Surely he's offside, Griezmann. Interesting. Corner kick to France here. I'll take a draw, says Mighty Lines right now. Absolutely. I don't think you've played overly bad, in fairness. Now you're coming up against a very good side, but you can come out with your heads held high in this. What match are you watching tomorrow? I don't think I'm doing one tomorrow, guys. Let me just have a quick check. I might take the night off because I have a wife that also requires attention. Let me see. Tomorrow at 7, Belgium, Canada. Nah, I'm going to give tomorrow night a miss, guys. But I'll be back on Thursday night for Brazil versus Serbia. We'll be back for that one on Thursday. So no game tomorrow, but back on Thursday. Jim Bob says, what's the story with Team Viewer reviewing their sponsorship? Yeah, they're not going to be renewing their sponsorship in 2025, I think. So I think they're with us till then. As long as it says Old Trafford and not the Kellogg Stadium, says Oshin. Yeah, I don't think United would ever be stupid enough, or any new owner coming in would be stupid enough to change the name of Old Trafford. So let's just pray. Right, so we have an update from Mike Keegan, news correspondent for the Daily Mail. He says Jim Ratcliffe has carried out a feasible study on the cost to buy Manchester United as well as redevelop Old Trafford and Carrington. It was met with a flat denial by his people, who said they were purely concentrating on OSC Nice. So there we go. So Jim Ratcliffe has looked into buying Manchester United. Now we haven't got a time frame on that, if it's been in the last couple of weeks or was it a few months back when he was first linked with buying Manchester United. We don't know, but look, these reports are going to come thick and fast now over the next couple of days. So obviously we'll keep you up to date on it. And if there's a lot of updates between now and tomorrow, then obviously we will go live tomorrow night. We'll do maybe a Manchester United news show. But yeah. Now, good news all around of Ronnie and the Glazers are out, says Mark. And Oshin says you should clip I have a wife who needs attention. Views would skyrocket. Yeah, but I'd be fucking divorced, Oshin. It's going to take at least 9 billion to buy, says Chris. 7 for the club and 2 for refurbishment. Yep. I'll put in 100k. Yeah, we'll do a little. We'll pull a little pot together here on the United Community Channel, will we? Send in your donations to me. I'll set up a little GoFundMe page. I won't keep it, I swear. Taking the emotional side out of it, the naming rights of Manchester United would bring at least 100 million, which will pay most of the upgrades, which would allow us to keep investing in the team. And Niall says Radcliffe net worth is 13.5 billion apparently. Oh, here's France now. Should be 3. Oh, cleared off the line. Australia with some great defending there. Paul says, sorry, had to go. What's all this talk about the club? Paul, get onto Twitter. Glazers are selling Manchester United. It's after breaking in the last hour or so. Huge breaking news. Lily asked for the score. It's 2-1 to France, Lily. It should be 3-1. Australia just cleared a shot off the line there. Cross into the box. Mbappe! There it is, 3-1. What a header. Mbappe gets his World Cup goal. First one of the tournament. Lovely goal, you'd have to say. Dembele with a beautiful cross into the box. And you'd have to say it was coming, you really would. France have looked dangerous in the second half, and they've pushed on. And you can see what we said in the first half. Australia are getting a bit leggy, they're getting a bit tired. And France are after making them pay. They really are. Ball comes to Dembele. Down on the right hand side, he cuts back, puts in a lovely cross with his left foot, and Mbappe just gets up between two defenders, glancing header, hits the post and goes in. And it's 3-1. You say that's game over now. But yeah. Let's see. That money was just resting in my account, Your Honour. Jane said he called it. Paul said, happy fecking days if they do. Chris says, I hope we don't buy Lautaro. Can't stay on site. Yeah, he was off a good bit today, wasn't he? Let's see. Gershwin says, Man United up for sale. Best news ever. All my days. Yeah, great news. Football Edits is in. And Jim Bob says, be some crack if Qatari money bought United. Qatari Airways sponsored. Sure be sick, shirt. Yeah, it would. It's on Sky Sports online now, says Paul. But yeah, Twitter is where you get the quickest updates, in fairness. Sorry guys, just give me 1 sec here. But Australia haven't sat back, in fairness. They've tried to come forward and stuff, but France are obviously the fitter team here. Anyway, let's see. Australia did themselves proud, in fairness. They held their own for a fair while. They did. Just as we said, it's 4-1. Giroud gets his second with a header and Mbappe with an assist here. And it's his 51st goal. He equals Thierry Henry, they're saying here. And it's some achievement out of the man, you'd have to say. And a big man in there. Was he 36? We were saying he is earlier on. And lovely ball in by Mbappe. Just hangs one up. Gets to the end line, hangs one up. And Giroud is never missing it. Gets up in between again 2 defenders and boom, down into the ground. Keeper kind of gets a paw to it, but can't keep it out. 4-1. Game, set and match. Pace of Mbappe is just sick. I'm here, Jack. Came back from training, right back masterclass. The Irish Genev. I know how to play right back. Played there for 15 years. But you heard the news, Twigs. United is up for sale. If you haven't heard it, get on to Sky Sports News quick and check it out, man. United is up for sale. Paul says, so if you took your United hat off, would you buy United or Liverpool? Which be the best option with the infrastructure they both have at the minute? Well, if I was a businessman who was looking for a return on my investment, I would go with Manchester United, because they're a bit, and I'm taking off my United here, I'm not trying to slag Liverpool, but United are a bigger club. They've got a bigger fan base and a bigger revenue stream. They bring in more money every year. So from a business standpoint, it would make sense to go for Manchester United. But again, it would depend on how much it's going to cost to buy each individual club as well. But yeah, fuck Liverpool. Mighty Lines, he's in, says, dreaming out 1-0, reality setting in now 4-1. Well, look, the one thing I would say, pal, is like you can hold your heads up high here. it's you know, you really have played well against a very good team, and you're only 1 point behind Denmark and Tunisia, so it's still all to play for you. And if you can play anywhere like this against the two of them, you'd have a chance. Yeah. What? Don't know. I can't see. Maybe it's the buggy bringing it in and out. Maybe was it? Smell of fish or something. You cooking fish? No. What are you cooking? Huh? No. Yeah, alright. Put down the yolk and I'll plug it in. She's unsettled? Ah, yeah, she's okay. Keep an eye on her. Alright, no bother. See you in a bit. TD says Ronaldo out and now the Glazers selling. Must be Xmas. It's come early, so it has. I had that money. I'd buy Liverpool to destroy them. He says Ben. Wouldn't we all, says Twigs. Paul says my kind of thinking. How are you going to ask your wife if it smells like fish? I knew as soon as I said it, someone would comment on it. But yeah, I was just wondering. There was this. I think she was making salmon for the little one or something, so that's what the smell was. Yeah, I knew I should have fucking muted the mic. The smell of fish might mean an electric fire. Look out. Stop, drop and roll. So yeah, 15 minutes to go here, guys, and I just realised I never put on the timer for the second half, but we'll get it up and running here now. So yeah, 15 minutes to go. And this game is pretty much done and dusted. It really is. Liam says if every Man United fan paid an average of €100, we could have a fan-led club. Michael says Caesars is only down the road from you. And Jim Bob says, who's your money on winning the World Cup? I'm going with Brazil. Mark, thanks for the gifts, man. Really appreciate it. Make sure you hit the follow button, guys, if you're new to the channel. We're doing a lot of watch-alongs for the World Cup, and then obviously daily content for Manchester United and the World Cup. And of course then we'll be back doing Manchester United watch-alongs once the World Cup is over as well. So if you're new, make sure you hit the follow button. Really helps out the channel an awful lot. Ushin says, stop, drop and roll. That's what the UCC TikTok needs, is more dance trend videos. You're never, ever, ever going to see me dancing on TikTok. Never. The only one is that when I'm doing the score predictions, I'm kind of doing that. That's it. That's all you'll get out of me. But if you see me in a nightclub, I've been in a nightclub in about 7 years, but if you ever see me, I'll be giving it all of that, boy. Some dancer, boy. Scoreboard as well. Apologies, guys. 3-1 to Allez les Bleus. You should dance today. The Glazers sell up. I'll give you a dance when the Glazers sell. What about for 30k? Nah. If I get to 100k, I'll do a little dance. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Look down tonight. But yeah, it's been a great evening. It really has. It's been a great evening. Ronaldo's gone. Glazers are selling. Ah, Craig, come on, man. Jesus, that is so poor. Tess Tickles. That is so poor, man. You're never getting me with that. Oh, man. Trav said, how did Australia make the World Cup? They were terrible. They're not terrible. I disagree with you. I think they've been okay. They were very good in the first half, but they're just up against superior opposition, but they're not terrible. Craig, man. England has a chance if Fred and Casemiro... England has a chance if Fred and Casemiro in midfield. Well, I don't think Brazil have ever lost when Fred and Casemiro have played together for Brazil, so you'll have to change your statement on that one, Mark. Paul says, if they sell up, how long before Ronnie wants to return? That's what we were saying, Paul. It's all been a ploy by Ronaldo and Ten Hag. Make up all of this rumour about Ronaldo on a riff, tear up his contract, get the Glazers to sell, re-sign Ronaldo for free in January when the Glazers are gone. Up there for thinking, down there for dancing. Hope the new owners stay with Ten Hag. Yeah, I mean, they'd be stupid not to, wouldn't they, Chris? He's shown so much potential, and so I wouldn't be too worried about that. Jordan says Giroud top goal scorer at 20-1 would have been a good one. Would have been. But see, what could happen there now, Jordan, is that, you know, Mbappe could get he could get a hat-trick in the next game, and, you know, so I remember for Euro 2016, I had Griezmann backed at 20-1, I think I got him at. And he won it. Had a tenner on him, got 210 quid back. It was nice. Oshin says, Ten Hag masterclass strikes again. It was all his idea for Ronnie to leave during Spurs. Paul says, but the team viewer sponsor wants to rip up that contract. Well, they're in the contract. They're not renewing it. I think it's 2025 or 2026. They've already backed out of it. Let's see if we have any new updates. So, Ed Malin from The Athletic says, a statement on the sale of Manchester United is expected imminently. And also, he has said, the Glazer family have instructed banks to handle the sale of Manchester United. They are expected to make this decision public in a statement on Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. So, yeah. So we're going to get a statement tonight, it looks like. I need to make a thumbnail real quick because if I have to go live. Anyone want to make me a thumbnail real quick and email it to me? About the Glazers. There's a few football edits guys in here in the chat. Make a thumbnail up real quick and send it to me. Mighty Line says, get off the Aussies, we're there, and that's it. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Don't listen to the haters, man. Let me see. Team Crests. Now, sorry guys, just give me one sec here. But yeah. Mbappe should have made a 5-1 there. Yeah, he should have, Craig. He should have. I just seen it. But yeah, let's see. Moy is his name, Chris. That's the best thumbnail I can do, just says Paul. Not hugely important in the grand scheme of things, but scoreboard is still wrong. Is it still wrong? Oh, it is still wrong. Sorry. There we go. There's his 4. Now, cheers for that, Oisin. Moy from Brighton, wasn't he, Ozzy? Yeah, he's playing, yeah. Aaron Moy. That's the guy. Aaron Moy, that's the guy. So yeah, about 5.5 minutes to go here, guys. Game coming to an end, really. Just kind of petering out. And I'm trying to make a thumbnail here. Fucking hell. Sorry, guys. Trying to get a thumbnail made here. United need to stay away from American investors, says Mighty Lions. Mark says Australia should feel proud they played pretty good. And Michael says straight to Tom Aldino's page after this to see what he says. Well, what I might do is I might do maybe a multi-guest live here myself and see what people have to say about it. So I'll get people on TikTok to have a chat and see what they think. Yeah, Adam does some good content, though, in fairness to him. Trying to get him onto the podcast with me. Hopefully he can do it maybe next week. Now. Perfect. Right. Colin says, do you want England to win? No, not really. Mark says, didn't think the Argentinians would get bet. Utter shock, yeah. Colin says, I couldn't care who wins the World Cup as long as it's not England. Mark says, Mexico drawn with Poland and a missed penalty too. Yeah, apologies, guys. I keep you up to date on that one. I didn't realise, is there another game going on at the moment as well? Oh no, that was earlier on as well. Sorry. Yeah, that was an earlier game. But yeah. Now let's see YouTube. Paul says, did you have a podcast this week? No, not yet, Paul, because I was doing watch-alongs, but I might potentially do one tomorrow night. If all of this Glazer stuff, we might base it around maybe that and do one. Oshin said the Glazer news was worth the admission price alone tonight, guys. Absolutely. I'm in for the podcast, says Chris from sunny Florida. A Star is Born. Absolutely. Well, make sure you turn on the bell notification on the TikTok, because if I go live on it, I'll be doing an interactive one, so people can jump in on TikTok maybe in about 20 minutes and we'll have a chat about it. Ricey says, underwhelming so far, in my opinion. Fans have been poor. Yeah, our stadiums are not nowhere near close to being full, really, aren't they not? So, but we've seen some good football. Not an awful lot, but we've seen some good football. Good save by Ryan there in the goal. 7 minutes. Where are they getting all of this time from? I mean, this is obviously they've obviously been told to do this now, and they're clamping down on time wasting, and which I'm all for, but 7 minutes in a second half where nothing much really stopped. And I understand, look, there's substitutions and things like that, but 7 minutes of substitutions. I don't know. I'm sure there's been some studies done behind the scenes here where, FIFA or, the hierarchies have been saying, there's too much time, or there's not enough time being added on due to, like, the average substitution is 30 seconds or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I'm sure there is some statistics behind it, but what do you think? Do you think these additional minutes at the end of first half, second half are good or bad? Let me know. World Cup is pinnacle of the sport, says Ricey. It's about so much more than just the quality of football. Yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the fans make it. They certainly do. But that's down to Qatar. We will never see a Winter World Cup again. I don't think. Ever. Michael says they played an extra 6 in the Argentinian game on top of the additional 8. That's right. There was an injury, wasn't there? In injury time. Bad. Where are they finding these minutes from? And Ricey says, why not play like rugby? Stop the clock whenever the ball is not in play. That's something that I completely agree with. Just stop the clock. Makes sense. Just stop it. And then there's never any problem. Stop the clock. Stop the clock. I thought the World Cup were having drink breaks, 1 break in each half. I don't know. Well, aren't a lot of the stadiums actually air conditioned? And I suppose this is a night game as well. It's nearly midnight over there now, so it's probably not really, really hot. Ben says, I think it's good, the people there paying for tickets. Yeah, that's a great point. Paul says, it's just felt in the Saudi game the ref was playing for a draw. It did feel like that. It did. 1.5 per goal celebration, says Chris. Every time there's treatment, 1.5. Yeah, well, yeah. I suppose what I might do maybe not tomorrow night's game, but another game is actually just get out a stopwatch. I know that'd be too much effort, wouldn't it? Where you'd have to, every time you'd have to literally be watching every second of the game to start, stop. Maybe one of you wants to do it, I don't know. But yeah, about 3.5 minutes to go here, guys. Let's see, is there any updates on the Glazers here? What a great night. Glazers are leaving. Great night. Tommy, thanks for the gifts, man. Really appreciate it. So, Mark Kleiman from Sky Sports says the announcement from the Glazers in relation to the sale of the club could come within the next 1 to 2 hours. So, I have a feeling I'm going to be going live again tonight, somehow or another. Mighty Lions will get the stopwatch out. On average, only 60 minutes of a game, the ball is on the pitch, okay? Our Glazers even wasn't tuned in, says Ricey. Yeah, so it's been announced about an hour ago, Ricey, that they're open to selling the club. Just get on Twitter and type it in. It's all over Twitter. Yeah, they're going to make an official announcement, it looks like, in the next hour or two. All of the top journalists are reporting on it. Make sure you hit the follow button, guys, if you're new to the channel. And if you're new to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. Helps the channel out a lot, as you do know. Appreciate all the likes as well. Nearly 2,000 viewers in throughout the stream as well, which is great to see. Mark, thanks for the gifts. Really appreciate it, pal. Best news possible, he says. Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, this game is just coming to an end, guys. Just over 60 seconds to go. And it's going to be a comfortable, well, not a comfortable win, but a resounding win for France. And they're up and running. So they are. Craig, thanks for the gifts, man. Really appreciate it. Let's see. £23 turkey. How many are you feeding, Chris? £23 turkey. Oh yes, Thanksgiving, isn't it? Next week. Or this week. Yeah, my friend is going to New York on Saturday for his honeymoon. And there it is, guys. Full-time whistle. France win 4-1 and get the World Cup off to a very, very, very positive start for themselves. Obviously, they go top of the group. And Denmark drawn today with Tunisia. You're probably saying already that France are guaranteed to top the group, you would have to say, unless they really, really do bottle it. But yeah, good result for them. But look, as we all know, the news coming out throughout the game is that the Glazers are open to sell, and obviously that's been the big breaking news so far. I'm probably going to jump on and do maybe an interactive live on TikTok. So if anyone on YouTube wants to jump over to the TikTok once we go live, hit the bell notification there. I'll be doing that maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And if major announcement comes from the Glazers in the next hour or two, we'll jump on and do a live again. So make sure you have the bell notification turned on. I may potentially, I don't know if Ricey is still there, if he's around tomorrow, could potentially look at doing a podcast tomorrow in relation to this breaking news with the Glazers and Ronaldo, and we'll talk World Cup as well. Keep your ears to the ground on that one. But thanks to everyone, guys, for the views. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the follows, the shares, all the people who've subscribed, all of that good stuff. Keep an eye. Make sure you turn on the bell notification, because I'm more than likely will be going live again tonight, given all of this Glazer talk. But until the next time, peace out.